All right. So for afternoon session, we'll discuss about visibility, intelligence, and agile, right? I'm happy to see all our panelists today talking about digital transformation. We're talking about cloud. We're talking about machine learnings. All right? Too much of my face. Okay. So, according to Gartner, 54% of the logistic company or supply chain professional, they have abandoned CSV file. Who among these people use CSV file until now? Come on, I want to see the raised hand. CSV is my friend. CSV is one of the way the inbound data, right? So they abandoned Excel spreadsheet and changed to more agile operation. Okay? The reason why we're doing this is we want to cut costs so that for every 5% fall of the supply chain expense, it's going to be profit for the warehouses. Am I correct? Agree? Okay. So the current challenges faced by businesses, this is facts. Actually, I gathered this information based on my accounts, based on my customer experiences. One, lack of visibility. So supply chain becomes more too complex, but lack of, non-technical people. A good example, the warehouse manager talking to IT manager, in most cases, they're enemies, they're frenemies. Am I correct? The warehouses, the finance, the back-end operation, they don't have common system. They don't talk to one specific system. Am I correct? All right. I see some heads. Lack of intelligence. Data are not accurate. This is common. Data cannot be accessible. Am I correct? Why is it? Because most of you, are using Excel file, right? You're using CSV file. Do you agree? Warehouse manager? Any hands here? Okay. And of course, lack of agility. It's hard to integrate. Why? Finance has their own system. Warehouse manager has own system. Inventory people has their own system. So, what happened? Chaos. Am I correct? Okay. How can you make this formula work? Like what other panelists talking about, we need to be supply chain resilience, right? So the formula is, hey, you need visibility. You have to talk to your people on the ground too, right? Ability to see. And second, you need to have intelligence. I'm talking about the process and the template for each department, all right? So of course, we need to be agile. We need to be execute agility in the company. So the result will be supply chain resilience. Am I correct? So to modernize your supply chain technology, Aratum has this process. First, before, we have multiple data sources. Like for example, as mentioned, you have warehouse operation, different system, different application, different data. The courier, the fulfillment team has its own setup too and system. Am I correct? The supplier, the e-commerce, banks, and custom, they have different sets of data. So the result, low profitability, prone to error, variance, frustration, and low morale. This is common on the ground, warehouse, finance, sales. Agree? Because of the inventory variances. What if we use this data, the warehouse data, your CSV data, we use the data from your third-party courier. We use the data from your supplier. We use data from fulfillment team, from DC, right? And we create a console. We call it one single source of truth. So what do we mean by that? As I said earlier, the panelists discussed about artificial intelligence. One of the speakers also talked about machine learning. So you want to consolidate all this data and collaborate. Because now, data is the new gold. Do you agree? So, as a result, we need to achieve higher efficiency and, of course, profitability and accurate data. Okay. Aratum nowadays, we practice MultiCloud Strategy. Aratum partner with one of the best cloud platform, and one of those is Amazon Web Services. So Amazon Web Services has their own tool also, and we want to incorporate those intelligent, like for example, for actionable insights. We want to identify the errors of the warehouse. We want to identify if it is overstocked or there's an aging inventory until now lying on your warehouse. When you see variance, hey, when you see variance, it's a cost of money. Am I correct? All right. So we integrate this kind of technology using our system. So Aratum is also working with AWS to provide you a better solution on cloud. And the next vendor, or we call it technology vendor, Oracle. This is my previous company. We use Oracle or Oracle Cloud Infrastructure to provide you flexibility. Because it's easy for us to up an application, tell you frankly, how fast we can up a warehouse system in a certain warehouse company. Any guess? I can easily up a system or software-based system in less than 5 hours. All right? So our offering is we have the best both of technology. The system itself, Aratum system, are being backed by this company, Amazon and Oracle. So I believe in the Philippines, we're the first early adopters to use multi-cloud strategy. In fact, one of my customer, I will not mention the name, I'll get sued later. I have NDA. We're doing the migration from different cloud platform. Why? Because we want all this application. Imagine they have 5 multiple applications. We want to integrate all this application in one dashboard, right? So what's the key? It's all about API integration. All right? Okay. Digital transformation. All right. So in Aratum, we offer this horizon. These are the infographics of our solution. We have a tool that caters for warehouse management solution that also talks about your inventory and order management system. In fact, Aratum is very, very strong when it comes in e-commerce fulfillment processes. It's because of this, the merchants. The merchants are our customer too. Our system are already integrated with Amazon, Shopify, Magento, but of course, Shopee and Lazada are most commonly in Southeast Asia, right? So we offer end-to-end supply chain solution with a plus, an intelligent. We use AI, we use machine learning, and in fact, we already also created the finance module. Why? Because your inventory, your warehouse talk about money too. Any loss of inventory equates to loss, which is finance, right? So our approach is really talking to each other. We want to talk the warehouse team, we want to talk the finance, we want to talk the operation. So if you ask me right now, Tony, how does it work? Each module is integrated. Each module created API enabled, RESTful API, right? And here, if you ask me right now, Tony, I don't need finance. Yeah, because we can offer you a la carte. Probably we can start warehouse first, right? Maybe if you're into transport management business, we can start the TMS, transport and logistic management, right? In fact, most of this second mid-mile fleet in the Philippines, we already started integration. We have last mile, mid-mile partners already, not to mention, sorry. We have fleet already for vessels in Cebu. All right? So, I just want to give you a glimpse who is Aratum. All right? We are the leading ERP system. We streamline businesses, the critical supply chain operation, and we only focus for now for Southeast Asia. We founded Aratum 2016. Then we established the fulfillment center globally. Like I said, we have warehouse partners not only in the Philippines, but in fact across the globe. And we start offering our solution in 2018. And year 2021, we developed Southeast Asian market, but of course, starting in the Philippines. We have physical office already. I am building my own team in the Philippines. And now, my boss is really aggressive. We want to start new office in the country, in Thailand, in Indonesia, in Malaysia. Now we're starting in Singapore. That's how we cover our footprint. Okay? Where are we located? As I said, Aratum is a global brand. We have fulfillment warehouses already because of the e-commerce fulfillment. We have UK, US, Canada, so on and so forth. Our headquarters is based in Hong Kong, by the way. Okay, this is good. This is the actual scenario of our customer. But don't worry, I will not mention the name because I'm under NDA. All right? This is a very good use case for you guys. Okay, one customer, one of the top 10 forwarders in the world. They have a customer selling beauty products online. When you say online, this is B2C, right? You know how tedious it is to do B2C fulfillment. In fact, the customer is a US-based brand. They don't have manufacturing in the Philippines and even in Southeast Asia. So they partner with this specific company to do fulfillment, B2C, all right? So for those companies nowadays doing B2C and DC or distribution, you know how tedious it is, right? Okay, our approach. We want to consolidate all this data and information. We define the process first. First, the customer will buy online. We integrate the courier process plus the finance process plus the warehouse process. So we streamline the processes because there's a lot of processes, right? As a result, here, legacy system, multi-processes, a lot of process. I have to get the brand owner process, blah, 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 until the brand owner system. So what we did is to simplify the process. So we linear the process like, hey, let's identify export order information because the order will be coming from Philippines, right? Pick and pack items. We integrate the third-party courier and the warehouse process. Print the shipping label. Print the airway bills. And tracking number. So everything will be synchronized, simplified. All right? Another use case, this is a very, very good use case because this is not typical warehouse process. It's one of the leading scrap metal in the Philippines, in fact, in ASEAN. So the background, there are scrap yard. They're selling scrap metals. They have many facilities across the Philippines. The increased volume of, inbound and outbound processes. So what we did, we customized the workflow. Who among us can identify or can create inventory out of irregular shape or metal scrap? Nothing, none. We did it. So we customize the workflow. We integrate IoT, Internet of Things. We integrate the CCTV and the weight bridge, so on and so forth, to our system. We create data. What kind of data is it? The data that coming in from the weight bridge, which is the truck, we create plate recognition system. So every time the truck will get into the weight bridge, next time we have data already. And that is AI, right? Is it good? All right. So from that kind of process, we create inventory listing anyway. So we've done a very, very good job because it's really hard for us to identify inventory out of scrap metal. Do you agree? Okay. Before, they have limited visibility, insufficient proof, manual records, of course, everything is manual, difficult to manage in multiple sites. So what we did, we innovated. We digitized everything, the process, the flow, right? So the handle time was decreased by 50%, which makes sense like another profit for the company, right? We transitioned the on-prem from physical installed-based system to a cloud-based solution and real time. All right? So earlier, I showed you the horizon. These are the modules. So we have the financial management system, we have order management system, warehouse, transport management system, and inventory. So we call it Aratum Horizons. So it's a 5-module. You can get it a la carte or full-blown system, ERP system. Again, sorry. I just want to show this to you guys for those techie. Because a typical microservice component is important, especially for the CIOs. What I'm trying to tell you right now is I want to establish credibility of our system and credibility of my backend. We're talking about load balancer, messaging, so on and so forth. So all this application is at the backend, right? The important is we can come up with a very, very good solution for you guys as a customer. Okay, so numbers, we're the first unified supply chain, as I said earlier. We have more than 5 million order processed, 6,000 plus organizations globally, and 100 plus logos. And we want to create new logos in the Philippines soon, all right? And we deploy in different 15 countries, so on and so forth. Okay, this is our validation process. The process that I'm discussing right now is kind of different. Before I engage a customer, I have to do a lot of interviews and, sizing. First, validation. Our company will provide you a sort of consultancy like, hey, finance, what are your processes? Warehouse, what are your processes? Back-end, what are your processes? So something like scoping and sizing, right? And then once we're done with the process, we turn that process into digital. So we create a software already. That is called optimization. So before we proceed for the actual deployment or production, we'll have implementation, or we call it UAT environment. This is a testing environment before we go live, which is, everyone will be happy because it's now on production. We can now turn on the system. Hey, we can use the system now. And that's my process. All right? These are trusted companies, install base of Aratum across the globe, just to give you and create you credentials and credibility. All right. I think I'm okay. I have a few minutes. Any question? None. I'm good. Thank you. All right.